like a matter of telling people like, look, you can be sitting in a meeting with somebody for an hour, a full hour, right? And if you look at it like a nonfiction book, right? The average nonfiction book has 12 pages of actual content in it. That's like an actual statistic from all these different publishers. So you have a 120-page book, a 180-page book. There's like 12 actual pages of real content. The rest is just fluff and stories and whatever. That's what, unfortunately, a lot of coaching sessions are about. And that's okay because they're still going to get those 12 pages of content. But I'd rather not have to sit through an hour of that. So I can have a client who's messaging me, 4 times in a day or more. I have some that'll message me multiple times in a day. And let's say they talk for 20 minutes and I listen to it at double speed. That's 10 minutes. Great. Not only that, I can listen to that 10 minutes while I'm driving from one kid's activity to another. It doesn't mean that I'm not focused on it, but I mean, I can take that in while also doing another thing. And then I can think about it, and then I can give them back that really quick answer. So what people have to really understand about this is it's not just about the client speaking time. It's about your speaking time too. Because when you are synchronous with somebody like we are right now, I have to perform, right? I'm on stage and I have to perform. I can't say to the person like, you know what, let me go chat GPT that and I'll get back to you. Like I can't do that. And yes, I do that sometimes with clients because I keep ChatGPT projects on every one of my clients with all the documents and all the presentations, all the things that they send me. So there are times where I will go have a conversation with my ChatGPT thing about that client and then come back to them. So it's funny when people look at it like that, they're like, oh, but they're gonna have so much access, so much time. It's like, yeah, but you have so much access to them when they have that hour in that one place that you're not going to be using either. So it gets reduced by both sides.
So what have you been saying?
Yeah. So I agree. I listen to messages at 1.75 is my I think it's 1.75 is my preference. I can get, everything that I need to from the conversation with that. I also, listen to conversations whilst I'm stacking, to use almost like an ADHD phrase. So I'll be doing something else. I'll be focusing on that, but doing something else. It actually helps me get through that, the conversations, and focus on them. The fear, obviously, that people are going to drain all of your time away so far hasn't proven to be the case. I think, I only have kind of one person that I probably hear from like every day at the moment. Other than that, most people a few times a week. They will send me messages which are, I mean, I tend to suggest 3 to 5 minutes is a kind of, a normal amount. Occasionally people have sent, messages that are 7 or 10 minutes long. That's fine. That's what they needed to say. My messages back are probably 3 to 5 minutes most of the time. It depends on the specifics. If I kind of was to look at this from a purely minutes-based approach, I think it would be, about the same as I'm doing with my, current, synchronous coaching. But I think it changes from customer to customer. So I don't think it ever really gets beyond. I think it's, it seems a bit scary maybe. And I think we talked about this a little bit. It's like, oh, just give people almost like unlimited access to you. It did seem a little scary. I have to say it hasn't proven to be a problem. I do make better use of my time. It is probably the key thing. So, I'll go and do a session on kind of async. I'll get through, half a dozen customers' conversations in a relatively small amount of time. So it actually hasn't proven to be a problem. But I think I'm relatively new to this, so I only have a relatively small amount of experience. It hasn't been a problem so far.
And what's your cadence?
The other thing I do need to point out, the important thing to point out is that I give no expectation of response time to people. So I would say that on average, I'm probably less than 2 hours for most of this stuff, but I have had multiple times where I've gone on vacation for a week and not told anybody and just, got back to them at the end of that. So people can leave as long a message as they want with me. And it may take me 2 or 3 days to get back to them. And I literally set no expectations of how quickly I'm going to respond. And that's always been a really important one. And I think that naturally people sort of get the throttling effect that if they send me a 1-minute message, I'll probably get back to them very quickly. They send a 15-minute message, or I have one client who has one time sent me 3 15-minute messages in a row. So 45 minutes. I didn't get back to him on that one for like 2 weeks.
And so